So we've covered in depth what the problem with Solo a Star Wars story was. No, not the movie itself, just the lack of starting late marketing, the lack of trying to really position the movie in a smart spot, and then the whole, I guess you could say, barrage of giant box office crushing that Avengers Infinity War did, and then the release of Deadpool 2 before it. So it was just it was just bad timing. Well, Disney hopes that Solo is going to do rather well in the coming weeks. How so, you ask? Well, it just so happens that the movie came out, and of course, it didn't do as well as projected, but there isn't a big blockbuster style movie coming out up until Jurassic World: The Fallen Kingdom. And essentially, Disney has said, look, we're just hoping right now that people are going to go. It's going to be repeated viewings. People are going to go the following weeks when they get a little extra money. And in between the big films, they're going to go see Solo because this might be one that they missed. Now, that's good optimism, and honestly, this is something that could happen. I've seen a lot more of a, yes, I like this movie, and yes, I think people should see it, way more than, no, you shouldn't see this movie and stay away from it. And if that's something that people are into, and if that's something that they want to go for, then I think it could push the movie to sustain a couple of weeks of being first, obviously, and having smaller weekends, but retain that number one spot and just kind of coast along. And this would make a lot of sense, and Disney clearly, I think, wants that, but it's a matter of, is this a reality? Because being real, since it's opened with just a little bit more than 100 million in its opening weekend, if you start looking at the numbers and saying it's going to get optimistically a 60% drop, you're looking at probably it's going to make, 40, 50 million, somewhere in between those two numbers on its second weekend. That's still good. Another 50% drop, let's say, so 25 the following weekend. So the movie's going to do really well considering how much it's fallen from what it should have. And if it does maintain that type of pattern, you could feasibly see that this is going to be one of those movies that does the type of numbers of Ant-Man, the original, and then, of course, Doctor Strange, which still, that's nothing to sneeze at, but it's a Star Wars movie. So that's the problem you run into. It's a Star Wars movie that's not performing better than Ant-Man. Will that cut it? Probably not.